This is your weekly report from Valor News with Kristen Thumberg, or possibly Mary Q. Lincolns, or maybe Chad Fingertoe, or it could be Donald Fuller from Valor View Ranch. We couldn't afford to make individual intros, so bear with us.
The mainstream media attempts to falsely report that the Trump supporters are not behind him with the Iran scuffle is a real sign that their nonsense isn't being taken as fact. Let's take a look at this report from News Nation.
If you spend too much time on Twitter or get your news from the liberal mainstream media, you may have gotten the impression that the president's supporters are abandoning him in droves over Operation Epic Fury, his war to prevent your grandchildren from having to face off against a nuclear-armed Iran. Our hapless president has been dragged into this war against his will by the nefarious Bibi Netanyahu, according to people like Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Megyn Kelly, and now Joe Kent, a counterterrorism official who resigned this week amid an FBI investigation into his penchant for leaking government secrets to Carlson. Trump has betrayed everything he once stood for, they say, and all the young people know it. In light of their opposition to Trump, the mainstream media has been only too happy to amplify these characters.
The younger generations, I'm Gen X, millennials and Gen Z are very much against this war. And so when you talk to people on the ground, that's how it comes across. It's very generational, and the younger generations are completely against it. It's 100% a betrayal to what MAGA was supposed to be.
Alas, none of that is true. The narrative that MAGA is split over Iran, beloved by the liberal media and the anti-Israel far left and right, is complete fiction. Far from a betrayal, poll after poll after poll has found massive, overwhelming support for the president's strikes on Iran among Republican voters, upwards of 85%. An NBC poll of voters who backed Trump in 2024 found 90% support for the war in Iran and a 100% approval rating for the president. A new poll even asked point blank who Republicans trusted more, Kelly and Carlson or the president. The results were pretty decisive: 84% for Trump, 6% for Carlson. Womp womp. That's what we learned about America this week. The would-be emperors and kingmakers of the far right have no clothes. The war in Iran hasn't just taken out Iran's ballistic capabilities, it's nuked the fiction that these media personalities on the right wield any power. The podcasters, content creators, and YouTubers and Twitter personalities who claim to represent MAGA actually do nothing of the sort. They are influencers with no influence, not on the president nor on his followers. The podcast wars, as they've been called, have always been more a media turf war than an ideological one. Many seem to have decided that the way to try to grow their audience is to go down the same road as Candace Owens, podcasters with big audiences whose antipathy extends beyond Israel to all Jews. But unlike on the left, our compatriots on the right have absolutely refused to buy in. Support for Israel is rising among Republicans. Even people who get their news from podcasters overwhelmingly back the president in Iran. It turns out people who make money off of online engagement are not the best arbiters of where the American people are at. Sure, they get millions of views online, but the internet is available globally, and our enemies are only all too eager to try to undermine us by aggressively engaging with anti-American content. You can learn a lot more about what's really happening in America by going to church or sitting in a bar and talking to your neighbors for half an hour than you can on Twitter.
It appears the liberals have not swayed the right to buy the gaslighting and ongoing smear campaigns to undermine President Trump. MAGA will not succeed if we don't root out the damage that the Democrat Party has done to America by allowing radical backers of the Iranian government to fund terrorism worldwide. If you could subscribe and like the video, it would be a big help to getting me to 1,000 subs. It's been tough getting my subs past 850. I need 150 more to be eligible for monetization. Thank you from Valor News.